Hey, how's it going? Today is Wednesday, December 27th. We're taking a look at what's happening in the world. I don't have that much emails to cover. Everyone's busy with other things, right? Enjoying the Christmas and everything. So I don't have that much emails. So I thought I might as well cover some of the news articles. So I'm just poking a little bit of fun. I'm having a little bit of fun. Don't want to get anyone in trouble, right? So I'm just looking from my own personal perspective that we're in business, right? And I'm trying to understand what kind of opportunities are available out there. People who are interested in different markets, how they might find a lot of value in different articles covering and some information that I myself would be reading either way. So I thought I might as well share some of that information with others who find it interesting. We're taking a look at the business world, right? So I thought we would take a look within this video. We're gonna be taking a look at aerospace and defense, and we're gonna be taking a look at Britain's BAE Systems win 8.8 billion contract to continue operating Tennessee armor plant. Let's try to understand this a little bit better. What's happening? This article was published on December 12th, the beginning of this month, right, on the 12th. And December 12th returns. Britain's BAE Systems has won a 2.8 billion contract to maintain and operate U.S. Army ammunition plant in Tennessee. The U.S. Department of Defense said on Tuesday the Department of Defense the contract was awarded to for 10 years. Okay, from the January 1st, 2024, so that's beginning of next year. So from there for next 10 years. Interesting. Interesting. Myself, I'm interested. That's what I'm looking for. Where can I get some of those contracts? Where can I can manage groups and build the systems? That's what I'm looking for. So I thought I might as well cover it. I don't know. There's perhaps different ways how to look at. When it comes to standards, perhaps the standards how they're doing it is very high. So that might be some reasoning, perhaps worth taking a look at how it's been done within UK. Perhaps they have very high standards, but I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps send me some information. Send me some of those documents. I might review some of those documents and can go a little bit more in detail. Why would they pick such organizations, right? But for perhaps the way how they would operate, but perhaps it would be quality, cost effectiveness, and or perhaps output, depending on what kind of metrics they might evaluate this contract, right? Just name a few, right? To produce explosives, maintain and operate the Holston Army ammunition plant. Right, right. So there's a location there. Most of the people perhaps knows even this ammunition plant location, right? So I don't want to get anyone in trouble bombing anyone, right? So perhaps it's not a new thing. Myself, I'm just trying to understand a little bit better what's happening, right? Myself coming into this, what I want to understand is who I need to speak to, or who I need to talk to, who I need to approach, who what kind of circle of friends I need to have. If that's a problem, I need to wider circle. Expertise, what kind of expertise I need to gain, right? What university I need to go to, what do I need to accomplish many things, right? How can I receive this kind of contracts to myself? That's the questions what I'm asking, right? They said in a separate statement that it has been operating the plant since 1999, so quite some time. So it's 15 years or so, right? Just over 25 years developing products such as there's some projects there, a safer and effective replacement of TNT in artillery and modernization of facilities for sustained reliability. So they perhaps there's some patented projects and the way how some of those processes can look like and how they operate in some of those plants, right? So that's the name of location. Let's skip that. It's not what I'm looking for. Government owned contractor operator facility that produce explosives for US military. The plant has been operating since World War II, so it's quite some time, right? In addition to the plant and that's location there, BAE has also been operating contracts for army ammunition plant in location there since 2012, which manufactures propellant for the U.S. military. So perhaps they've been partners, right? So for quite some time, right? myself, I'm looking to engage, right? How can I, if I can attract some attention, send me a contract. I wanna compete in the and take part. How I can compete with BAE Systems when it comes to executing some of those contracts. That's why I'm interested in. How can I access some of those contracts? So for 10 years, we're talking about how many billions? We're talking about how many billions? We're talking about 8.8 billions. Nice, nice. That's a good contract. Congrats, I guess. Congrats on receiving such a contract. Once we have taken a look at some of those projects, let's try to understand what's happening perhaps closer. Yeah, that was US, right? And what's happening within Europe, right? Estonia is kickstart domestic ammunition industry. So this is something that Estonia is planning of doing, right? This article was published on Tuesday, 12th of December, so early this month. So let's try to understand what's happening in Estonia, how my company or any company can perhaps receive a contract of executing this contract. So that's why I'm interested in business perspective. So there's many reasons why people not do something, everything. Right now we're talking about business, right? Again, I'm not entirely sure if that's the name of the person. Yeah, I think it's the person himself is Elizabeth Guzelin Malo, I think, or Milan. I'm not entirely sure why it's Milan. Perhaps this article was published from Italy, I guess. If it was published from Italy, so okay, so we have NATO bases and US perhaps operating from Italy. That's what they're referring to. Again, why that's Milan there? But either way, let's progress. Estonian leaders are assessing options for making the Baltic country, known for its cyber savvy startup scene, into a production of ammunition for exploding European market. Okay, exploding is perhaps not the best. Well, defending, defending. I like word defending European market, but I guess I mean I understand it. Perhaps it was the statement been given by US. According to senior defense official. Okay, so let's not explode anything, right? If we can, we need to try to avoid exploding anything. But it's good that there's a plans in place and or cyber savvy, so perhaps the process be more automated if possible, perhaps. And we have the Estonians. It's been acknowledged that they have released some of our projects that potentially was sold to U.S. markets, right? Which is great, right? People are entrepreneurs making a lot of great projects of that. I can touch on some of the things that are happening within the world within the next video, right? Let's stick with this article, hard data, right? I'm trying to make it clean. I'm trying to poke a little bit of fun, but let's stick to whatever this article is about, right? Ukraine needs more ammunition, and countries have lots of stocks to refill as well. Okay, there's a name there. Under Secretary for Defense Policy told Defense News in the interview. She was referring to the. Okay, so that's interpretation, right? Let's keep all of that and progress. Estonia depends heavily on imports when it comes to military goods, including ammunition. Perhaps it's a good place to start. I don't know if there's nothing completed. Perhaps it's good to manufacture something themselves, right? Instead of perhaps purchasing and paying extra for things like logistics. So then sometimes it can cost another 40% of value, right? So when we're taking a look at cost effectiveness, perhaps it's good to build or have that manufacturing facilities themselves. It's been highlighted on the world stage as well. The government will need a constant supply of rounds for the weapon purchase line up in the aftermath of some of those countries and some of those conflicts happening in the world. For example, Estonia launched tenders last month for the acquisition of over 300 million worth of 155 millimeter artillery shells, right? So there's some contracts there. I haven't seen any of those contracts. And again, there's some people making statements, but I guess they are looking to improve defense, right? Well, even taking a look at those art, that was 155 millimeter shell, ammunition, right? Can they build it themselves? So we're talking about 300 million. Can they do it themselves? So that there's a company who has systems in place, right? So so again, that's the way I'm looking at it, right? The first one, perhaps my company should be up to that point, right? By now. how to do it, right? The first one will involve the Estonian defense company setting up a dedicated facility for production of producing ammunition. According to official, as no local companies know how to do this, and many requires transfer of technology from a firm with the proper know-how, which can be costly. So this is what they're looking to accomplish, right? So potentially even robotics automation systems, right? It seems that from what I understand, right, the UK perhaps might have it, right, and that now they are doing it within US, right, and now Estonia is looking perhaps purchase very similar thing, right. I don't know how many companies can sell this kind of thing, but this is where we are, I guess. The second option will entail the establishment of a manufacturing plant in Estonia by a European company, preferably by a privately owned one. I don't know why they need a privately owned one. Why it can be a government company, right? It depends. Perhaps when it comes to technical expertise, perhaps it's not that hard. It depends on what kind of ammunition are we talking about, right? I think when we're taking a look at, I don't know, that's my own rephrase thing of what's happening, right? I think when we're taking a look at ammunition, and depending on what kind of ammunition are we talking about, perhaps a very simple one, perhaps it's not that hard to do. I don't think it's very hard to do. When we're talking about systems and robotics and or software, perhaps that's part that's a little bit harder, and some ammunition or some of the rockets, ballistic rockets, can cost millions, right? But we're talking about perhaps depending on how many millimeter bullets are we talking about. I don't think it's that hard to manufacture the entry level ammunition, right? Not the perhaps high end ammunition. Estonia's defense officials have already started assessing suitable location for either option. Last month, okay, there's a name there. A special advisor for defense industry development in Estonia, Ministry of Defense, told local media that 5 possible sites in the northern and western parts of the country has been proposed. So there's something in the making there, right? Yourself, if you're interested in learning more, I have published a book where I'm taking a look at the body and some of those areas that I personally believe would be important for everyone to understand when it comes to improving the health, how to approach it, breaking down the full process within this book. I would say that it's very beginner friendly, but that's how the book would start and progress, and I would share very advanced concepts, which perhaps it might be challenging for someone who doesn't understand much about the industry. Myself, I've been in the industry for over a decade. I know everything with regards to the industry, and I thought might as well share that information with others who are interested in learning more, and how I can bring more people's understanding when it comes to fitness, right? That would perhaps would be nutrition, recovery, and working out, right? You can find it QR code in the corner company's website below. Just to finish on this video, right? There's a statement there. The next step will have to showcase the municipalities in the question key indicators, including the planned facilities, land area size, and all hazardous zone, logistics and energy connections, as well as proximity to local labor. So there's some of those issues. So perhaps that's how I would approach any project, right? It's been highlighted, right? The next step will be showcase municipalities in question key indicators, including, right? It's very important. People who are interested in accomplishing very similar projects, that's the key information there. Everything what you yourself feel. So, okay, you want to do something, where you should understand perhaps local laws, right? You need to understand that. Perhaps plant facilities, land area. Next step would be size of hazardous zone. So if there's or perhaps risk involved, right? It's good to touch on that. From there, progress to logistics. From logistics, energy consumption, or perhaps operating costs, as well as proximity to available local labor, and finish on labor. They haven't discussed finance yet, so they're missing that. But other than that, they have covered where everyone would begin and or start, right? And It's very important people begin paying attention what's really happening, right? And from there, according to a statement made by Estonian defense minister, okay, there's a name there in August, Tani has approved Ukraine with the military assistance worth more than 441 million. So there's opportunities there. That's what I'm saying. It depends what people might be interested in. So there's opportunities there. Thanks for watching. See you next one.